Hi guys, welcome to story time. It's a while I've done story time, and I remember we were doing red flags, but I have started this other one, which is daughter of two lands. Yes, my people, daughter of two lands. I have always been saying, oh, I will let you know about this story, I will let you know, but I had to start from somewhere. It's a difficult one because it's my story. Okay, now let's get into it here on. For those who are new, I'm a Tieno Olang Kochuang, and this is a Tieno's family. Okay, so basically, we opened this channel with my children after the breakup of my marriage, just later on, to just share our life, to share our joy, basically just that. So if you're into, at least connecting and all that, you're welcome. I was born in a little town called Homa Bay. Like, by then it was little. I hear now Homa Bay is not little as such. I'm here to go and survey it. So yes, I was born in Homa Bay. My mother was around 17 years old, and my dad was doing his, I don't know if it's called Form 6. Yeah, so basically they were children who just had a child. Now, my grandfather from my father's side, um, as this is now the story from my father telling me the story now, sold a cow, not a big cow. They say nyaroya. I think nyaroya is not a big cow. And then they use the money to come and pay my bill in the hospital and buy a few things that was needed, and I was taken home. Now I was taken home at Karachuonyo, Kauma. Yeah, that's where I was taken with my mama, because that's my father's home. Okay. Now, this is from my mom's side now. Most of it, my dad declines. Okay. My mom says that life was a bit rough on that side during that time. Like the difference between their home and my father's home was so big, because apparently Karachuonyo or Homa Bay County is dry. It's not as wet or rainful as my mom's place. My mom is from South Nyanza. We call Awendo, but she don't reach Awendo. Awendo is their main town. Now, for those who don't know where Awendo is, from Awendo you go to Migori, So it's that route. You can use Homa Bay route going there. You can use Kisii, I think. Yeah, if I'm not wrong, guys, I stand to be corrected. Yeah. So due to the hardship, mom says, the difference in my mom's home, they had a borehole where they actually drew water from. They had vegetations, like the climate is very favorable. They grew sweet potatoes, bananas, groundnuts. Those ones I can attest to, because my grandma is or was a farmer. Right now she's really suffering from arthritis, but you still find like there are products in there. Okay, I'm sure paying someone to do it, so forth. Yeah. So it was hard because at my father's place they had to go get water from a river or lake. I'm not sure which one it was, river or lake, but she says the water was also looking dirty, and that's the water whereby they would boil and keep for drinking, unless the rain is on, then they can trap drinking water from the rain. So life was a bit different for her. Another thing she said was people were not praying in that home. They were Catholics. Says they were Catholics, but not much prayer. And I feel like I can, though my dad does not agree with, did not agree with that. Now he's late. But when I went home, you know, like when you go home at Shags, grandmothers, first of all, they pray. My grandmother was so happy to see me, but she didn't pray, you know. Even when we were leaving, she didn't pray. So I think those are a few things that I picked, and I was like, yeah, maybe she's right. And maybe they do go to church, I'm sure, but yeah, it's not like the way we do it, you know. Yeah, yeah. And when my dad was going for further studies in India, he decided that he will take my mom back to her people just to take care of her, because she believed she'd be taken care of and myself better there when he is not around, because he used to also work a bit, you know, like teach in school and bring in income, and I think he felt it was for the best at that time. So my dad brought my mom and I back home, back to my mom's home, and bid everyone farewell and said, I'm going for further studies. When I come back, I'm coming back for my wife and for my child. But he had not paid the bride price yet. Again, he was a child. He still had to work and pay the bride price, okay? Now, during his absence, my grandfather decided to take my mom uh, to study basically. So she went and did midwifery in Kisii, and I was being brought up by my grandfather and my grandmother, my grandparents from my mama's side. So that is where my memory now comes in. I could remember the part where my grandparents are in. That's why even my son is called Daddy, because I named him after my grandfather. We would call my grandfather Daddy, and Daddy was a daddy to everybody. Like he was a father. I remember when I was in school, and Daddy would sometimes come over, and all my friends would call Daddy Daddy because he was a daddy to everyone. Yeah, that's how amazing it was. And it was a beautiful life, as I can remember. I just remembered I really, really loved my grandparents, and especially my grandfather. I loved him so much. When he went to be with the Lord, I missed the burial. I came in. It was just like so much happening. And reaching a bit later, when my grandmother saw me, I came when he was already buried. Maybe it was the best thing for me, because maybe I could have even fainted or died with him. I don't know, because I really loved my grandfather. And my grandmother saw me and just said, oh, Hope, your friend is gone. You know, like he was my friend. But whose friend wasn't he? He was everybody's friend, okay? Okay. Now, my mom went to study in Kisii, and later on, my grandfather's friend, who was a DC by that time in Lodwar. Now, I'm telling you a story as I'm being told, okay? Now, his friend came to him and said, I have my friend who is an district accountant who wants a wife, and a wife who has already bore a child. I feel your daughter will be the best for him because, first of all, the background, she's a Christian girl, she has a child already, and she's beautiful, and yeah, oh, mama is beautiful. That one goes without saying. And before due time, they were starting to know each other, writing to each other. And this is the funny part. Now this part, my uncle Jack, who is my mom's brother, younger brother, my mom is second born, so you find most of the people are younger. Now brings this story to light for me, you know. She says, he tells me that, oh, you know, my father sent me particularly to go and see if your father was a good man, okay? Everybody calls me Olang. Now that is Mr. Olang. And he says, whoa, when I went to survey Miss Olang, we were at Royale Hotel. Nowadays it's called Kisumu Hotel. Before it was Royale. Royale, but I feel like it was Royal. People are just calling it Royale. Or maybe it could be Royale, I don't know. And he said the first thing he monitored was every morning my father would be reading 3 gazettes, 3 of them. 1, 2, 3. And he was wowed by it. He was like, what? This man is a scholar. He's reading 3 gazettes every morning. And whenever he was paying for bills, he would remove money that is wrapped with a rubber band. And they were new. Of course, they were going to be new. He's an accountant, a district accountant for that matter. Why would he be carrying old money with him? So those were the things that for him sold the point. I don't know if that's what the father was looking for, but for him that was tick, 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 and tick. Yes. And he went back home and he told his father, oh, that guy is the best, he's the best. Huh? And the dad was listening. Huh? Really? Yeah, yeah. And it didn't take a long time. And they were now marrying. I can remember the marriage part. I remember I was very young. Oh, I will share the photos. I think they're somewhere. I will share the photos. I was really young. My mom went and I think stitched like outfits. All their siblings and us, we were having some matching outfits. And I remember that day we went to pluck flowers. You know, this is Ushago. It is Nyumbani village. So you go, you pluck like, how do you call it? Bougainvillea. Is it called Bougainvillea? Oh, so just flowers that people have on their fences, and we put them on inside bottles, and you know, and arrange the living room beautifully. It was like a ceremonious day. And my grandfather's family is really big because we have Jokanyamondi. Those are the family from her mom's side, because he moved like the other side, but just across the street. So all of us were participating, you know, and the family was big and full of love. At least that's how I remember it, full of love. Okay. And the people from my daddy came. Oh my God. First of all, it was like a lorry that had cows in it. Oh, and you are young, you're looking at the cows and you're like, woo. And before that, and just after that, another van comes in. You know, those days we had these vans that looks like a pickup, but from the behind it is closed, and they're playing drums and they are singing. Yeah, oh, that was an honor. Like my grandfather received honor from her daughter. You know, that was an honor. Okay. And they came in and the festive season was wonderful. I remember they slept because I remember my Uncle Kerry. Mostly I remember Uncle Kerry there. Yes. There were many other people, but that's the person I really, really remember, you know. He also went to be with the Lord. This is the thing. Once you're starting to grow older, people start leaving. Things you knew, people you knew start going, and the meaning only comes to the Lord now, you know. It's not about raha anymore. You know, not too much joy, because you realize things are passing, you know. People are passing, you see. And I remember the following day, I knew they slept because the following day I remember going to my grandma, my great-grandma now, my mom's grandma, to make for them dengu for njugu. Njugu is groundnut. There's a way these old mamas know how to make that. And that's what they were going to make for them, and they were going to have it. Because also he had bahasha for them. And when I say envelope, it is money, my friend. Eh? And my great-grandma was not a joke. Oh, you better be coming with some money. After all, she was the wife of a flying doctor during that time. Like, yeah, so that is the end of part 1. We will continue with Daughter of Two Lands on the next segment. Because really, initializing my phone is so hard. If it passes time, and we're already going to 15 minutes, and that's just about enough. Because I also want to put the pictures so you guys can see a bit of pictures up to where I have reached. See you guys. Thank you. Please subscribe. It really helps my page. It helps me, you know, because I'm trying to get viewing time so that we can start earning from the page. Thank you so much. See you next time.